part of the federal government's resolve to ensure power supply gets to the rural communities across the country. A 60-kilowatt solar PV interconnected mini-grid project conceived and implemented by the federal government and handled by the award-winning News Engineering Nigeria Limited has been commissioned in Kuchi, Niger State. The project, completed within a record time of 3 months after the award, but the commissioning was stalled due to logistic reasons, is expected to add value to the community, and the benefits, according to the minister who represented the President Muhammadu Buhari at the commissioning ceremony, are numerous.
It is my pleasure to be in Niger State today, the 15th day of September 2022, for the official commissioning of the 60 kilowatts solar photovoltaic mini-grid at Kuchi community in Lapai local government area. The 60 kilowatt project is one of the projects implemented under the Renewable Energy Micro-Utility Initiative conceived by the Ministry of Power for sustainable provision of electricity access to rural communities across the country. This is the second of its type, funded by the Green Bond, to be commissioned by this administration, which underscores our commitment towards achieving sustainable energy for all. This project is funded with the proceeds from the 2018 sovereign Green Bond issuance, an initiative targeted at financing grain programs and projects that will help the country attain its nationally determined contribution towards achieving emission reduction of 20% unconditionally and 47% conditionally in accordance with the Paris Agreement. The project demonstrates the viability of deploying alternative energy technologies to provide rural communities with 24/7 reliable power supply that would improve lives of rural dwellers through enhanced healthcare services, education, water supply, agricultural production, security, and an upliftment in the general standard of living. This program for electricity access has been achieving its objectives by boosting economic and commercial activities across the country, as can be confirmed by the impact of the first pilot project, which was commissioned in February 2019, and many other similar projects that ensued from the program. The federal government of Nigeria, in its desire to rapidly provide rural access to electricity, has developed policies and regulations to attract private sector participation in financing, development, operation, and maintenance of rural electrification projects using renewable energy sources at marginal profits to investors. One of such is the mini-grid regulation approved by the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission that provides opportunities for private developers to competitively develop projects such as this. These efforts have started yielding laudable results, which ought to be commended, as evidenced by the several mini-grid projects that have been commissioned across the country and providing reliable power supply to over 500,000 people in off-grid areas since my assumption in office. These projects are mostly developed through public-private partnership, thus confirming the confidence of the private sector in our policies. The federal government provided the enabling environment for the private sector to leverage on opportunities inherent in the government policies, incentives, and regulations to develop projects beneficial to rural communities. And as such, this project is to be concessioned to a private operator who will be responsible for its operation and maintenance. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me inform Your Excellencies that we will be commissioning 4 other mini projects and 2 projects under the Energizing Education Program within the month of September 2022, thus amplifying our commitment to meeting the target of Electricity Vision 30-30-30, which aims to provide 30 gigawatts of electricity by year 2030, with renewable energy contributing at least 30% to the energy mix in order to accelerate the increase in access to electricity. I want to assure Nigerians that our administration has successfully implemented and will continue to implement a wide range of infrastructure programs that will have positive impact on the lives and livelihoods of the citizenry. Finally, and in conclusion, I would like to commend the valuable cooperation provided by the government of Niger State and the people of Kuchi for not only providing the land on which this project is developed, but for also committing to purchase the electricity generated from the project. I therefore call on other communities to emulate the peaceful and dynamic people of Kuchi. And on this note, I invite state governments, local governments, and the private sector to take advantage of the federal government's policies and initiative and initiate public-private partnerships towards the provision of electricity access to the unserved or underserved communities through similar projects such as this. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you most sincerely for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Speaking at the commissioning ceremony witnessed by dignitaries including traditional rulers from the community, the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of News Engineering Nigeria Limited, Lady Josephine Nweze, stated that the decision by the federal government to execute this project in Kuchi community is noteworthy and indeed a reflection of federal government's commitment to increasing electricity access for citizens even in the remotest areas of the country.
Noteworthy is the fact that the decision to execute this project in Kuchi community is a reflection of government's commitment to increasing electricity access for citizens even in the remotest of places. I wish to therefore seize this medium to applaud the federal government for its vision in initiating this project and for other developmental initiatives, especially in the power sector. Let me also greatly congratulate the Kuchi community for being beneficiaries of this benevolence of the government. This project has plethora of economic implications for this community, ranging from outshoots of SMEs to sustenance of household needs. I wish to therefore strongly urge residents to take advantage of the business possibilities provided by this government's benevolence.
Speaking further, Lady Nweze went down memory lane on when the project was awarded in 2020 and the journey to the commissioning ceremony.
This project was awarded to News Engineering Nigeria Limited on the 3rd of July 2020 due to the fame which we had earned through our expertise and capacity in executing projects of similar specifications. Our edifice in Torankawa, Sokoto State is a testament to this. The project was completed within few months, but the client was not ready for commissioning due to bureaucratic constraints.
Lady Nweze used the occasion to thank all that made the project possible and the value that it brings, including those that are important to the communities.
We are, however, grateful to God that the commissioning is finally taking place today. As with every success story, this project also had some associated challenges, but we maintained the usual resilience and result orientation which remain our hallmark. However, I must quickly admit that the tolerance and accommodating culture of this community made the work a lot easier for us. In a special way, we at News Engineering are ever grateful to the federal government of Nigeria, which has, through the Federal Ministry of Power, continued to bestow on us great trust as their reliable contractor in respect of their projects. Please be assured that we continue to greatly treasure your esteemed patronage. Finally, I deem it quite necessary to also recognize the effort of those who made immense sacrifices in the field towards the execution of this project. The hospitality and cooperation of the host community and their leader, the admirable effort of the former Minister of State for Power, Hajia Zainab Ibrahim Kuchi, in influencing the location of this project in this community, and above all, the disposition of the Niger State government to having this project in his state. Once again, I wish to reassure Your Excellency, President Muhammad Buhari, ably represented by Ambassador Zubairu Dada, that we deem it a privilege executing this project, and your good government can continue to rely on the assurance of our unalloyed loyalty and excellent contract delivery. Thank you, and may God.
Some community leaders that witnessed this ceremony thanked the federal government and the project contractor for staying the course to ensure the project is completed and commissioned.
At this point, I also want to appreciate News Engineering for delivering this project, for having the expertise. They committed all their resources to deliver this project in right time, and I want to say thank you. I also want to appreciate especially His Excellency Ambassador Zubairu Dada for accepting the directive of his Mr. President to commission this project even at a very short notice. So, Ambassador, thank you so much.
It is of great pleasure again to also thank the effort of the federal government and the government of Muhammadu Buhari, as well as former Minister of Power, Hajia Zainab Kuchi, for this giant stride she has took. We have about 10 to 15 rice mills that have been operating on gas and fuel. So I believe this will be a boost to their business activities.
Let's put our hands together as we move to the point of commissioning.
On behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I cut this tape to declare this project in the name of the mighty Allah. This is my It says here, this plaque is to commemorate the official commissioning of the 60 kilowatt solar photovoltaic mini-grid project in Kuchi community, Lafaya local government area of Niger State, implemented by the Federal Ministry of Power with funding from the Sovereign Green Fund. By His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by my humble self, Zubairu Dada, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. Today, Thursday, the 15th of September, 2022.
Lady Josephine Nweze, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the award-winning News Engineering Nigeria Limited, spoke to a correspondent at the end of the commissioning ceremony on the importance of the project and the value it brings to the community.
The most fascinating thing about this project is that it was delivered on time. If you listen to the speech of the Director Renewable Federal Ministry of Power, he did mention that this project was delivered in 3 months, which is very good. So it's a very good project. It's going to provide light to this environment 24/7. So it's 60 kilowatts interconnected mini grid. It has a generator, it has a solar, and it's also connected to the grid. So at every point in time, there's going to be light. So what this means is that it's going to bring up a lot of SMEs, as I mentioned in my speech. There are many, small businesses that is going to come up because of light. Businesses like salon, businesses like barbing salon, whatever it is. So they have light now to live a sustainable life. So it's a very good project to this community.